Alrighty, hi everybody. Welcome to Trivera Tip Tuesday number 6. In case you missed it, last week's session was about how to pivot, which is everybody's new favorite word, from a traditional face-to-face event and how to transition to a virtual event or conference. So I am Christina Stetter. I'm the EVP here at Trivera Interactive. And this week, we are continuing a discussion we started last week with Thursday's webinar about how to plan your digital advertising strategy. If you missed that, you can catch it on YouTube, or you can visit Trivera.com and then click on the resources page, and you can find a link to it, as well as all of our other Tip Tuesday sessions right on our website. So today, I am talking with Ivana about local digital advertising, which is completely different from other types of digital advertising. So Ivana, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Ivana Skoko, and my primary role at Trivera is focusing on client SEO and PPC work.
So what we want to do before we get started is to talk about the difference between local search and other types of search. And the reason for that is that the same algorithms that power local digital advertising are also the ones that power local search. And so you need to understand how local search is different from other types of search in order to understand how to make your local digital advertising work effectively. So you need to know that location-based is very important and that mobile is extremely important. So, and the reason for that is because if you don't get it right, you can really lose a lot of money doing this incorrectly. In fact, 93% of people say they are likely to click on the first search result they see when doing a mobile local search. So getting it right really matters. So let's start out. Ivana, can you share some differences between local search and other types of search?
Certainly. The main difference between a traditional organic search and local search is that local search is geographic or location component to it. So you're not only trying to potentially drive traffic to your website, the goal is aimed at driving traffic to foot traffic to brick and mortar locations as well. So because of that, it's also a really great way to get online leads, even if you don't have a website built out. Local searches are also much more customized to the user. So Google uses algorithms based on distance, relevance, and prominence when they're serving up the local results. So for example, if you are searching for a pizza restaurant that's near you, you're likely not going to get a pizza place that's 100 miles away from you unless that's really the closest location to you. And then mobile is something that is also extremely important in local. It is in regular natural SEO too, but it's critical in the local space. Google has told us that 30% of mobile queries have some sort of local intent behind them, and that 82% of smartphone users conduct near me queries. So it's important to optimize for it. And then along those same lines, voice search is something that is also rapidly growing in the space, and that's basically optimizing for spoken word queries over somebody typing. So we know that people tend to ask more questions and use longer tail keywords when they're speaking into a device versus when they're typing something out. And so it's important to start thinking about those conversational tones people are using and then answering people's who, what, when, where, why, and how questions.
And so because local search is so different, the types of ads that will appear and that work for these types of queries are also different. So we don't have a lot of time today because we like to try to keep these sessions really short. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 3 types of ads that are prominent in local search. So the first one is a local search ad. What a great name, huh? And that is basically a way that a business can stand out and be found in a local search listing. A user is looking for a specific service or restaurant, whatever, and Google can tell that the query is they want to find something that is close to their location. So you will see a local search ad. The second type we're going to show you is a local inventory ad. And the third one is a local service ad, which is something that is only available in certain industries, but if it fits into your industry, can be a really great option for you. So Ivana will be showing all of those to us right now.
Okay, just shared my screen. Can you see it?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, as Christina mentioned, local search ads are a way for you to be featured and stand out in a selection of Google search. So when a user is searching for a specific type of business near their location, they may see an ad like you see here in this example that will show your location, your phone number, your address, maybe a coupon and store hours and reviews. There are a few different types of local search ads included here, so that can be anything from promoted pins to in-store promotions, inventory ads, and then service ads. It is important to note that in order to run these ads that you have to set up a Google My Business profile and claim your listing and verify it with Google. And then once you do that, you can directly advertise your business for given search terms so that your product and service can be sort of front and center when somebody is looking for your category of business. The second type is local inventory ads, and these are actually really good for retailers because they allow you to show in-stock product at locations near the searcher. So in this example, if somebody is looking for a certain type of perfume nearby, they'll see a couple of different places where they can get it. They'll see the product, price, reviews, and then they can actually see if something is in stock before going to the store. It's important to note here that this type of ad does require a shopping or product feed that you need to send to Google so that they can grab your inventory and product information so that products can be displayed appropriately. And then the final type of ad is a local service ad. These are where you can advertise your business on Google and get leads directly sent to you either through phone calls or messages. Currently, these types of ads are only available for certain industries and categories. So a couple of examples would be like you see here, plumbing. Maybe if somebody's looking for electrical work or small appliance repair or a locksmith, they can take advantage of these local service ads. So when a searcher enters a specific search around these industries, they can see several trusted examples like they do here, and then you're positioned at the very top of the page with some of your business information that'll show your hours, phone numbers, ratings, and reviews. When somebody clicks on this ad, then Google prompts them to confirm the service as well as their service area so they can really be sure that the result is a good fit for the search. So if it is, the searcher will go to your site, and if it's not, Google will sort of save you the cost of getting that unqualified click.
Alrighty, so one of the things that Ivana mentioned, in order to make the local search ads work, is that you need to have claimed your Google My Business listing. So I want to show you what that looks like in case you're not familiar with it, because the one type of ad of the three that we showed you that really does work for everyone is the local search listing. So just give me a sec to share my screen here. Okay, so this is a local search result. And so what I did was I searched for our company's name, Trivera Interactive. We would consider this to be a branded search because someone is searching for your company's name. And when someone does this, they get a result just about your company. And so the Google My Business panel is this over here on the right. And so you can see name of the company is here, our logo is right there. There are photos in here, our address, our hours. It is important to note that right here, this hours or services may differ panel is something that is specifically related to COVID-19. So ordinarily that would not be there, but Google is doing that to pretty much every listing because it wants to be sure that people understand that the business may or may not be open according to what it says on this panel. You can see we have reviews on there. You can post articles to this. You can post events to this. So a Google My Business panel is a great way to own more space on the search engine results page for a query about your brand. And even these photos that appear in this listing, we selected those and uploaded those to the listing. So now if someone searches for Trivera Interactive, you get our website, You get our LinkedIn page. You get an article about us that appeared in a local business publication. You get a review from us on another listing site, and you can learn about us on the Google My Business panel. So whether or not you're doing advertising, claiming your Google My Business listing is something that is really important. Now, if you're thinking of doing advertising though, you really do need to understand how to set up your campaigns correctly. As I mentioned, you can spend a lot of money on these campaigns if you don't know what you're doing. So we want to share some quick tips with you on how to ensure that your campaigns are set up and optimized for local search, not national searches. So, Ivana, can you share those tips with everybody today?
Sure. So as Christina just mentioned, the number one tip would be to claim and verify your Google My Business listing if you have not done so already. That will allow you to optimize the listing, which is critical for natural SEO, but then you can also use some of the ads that we were talking about earlier. It's free right now, and Google makes it pretty easy to do. The second tip would be to sort of know your product and your audience. So with location targeting, you can specify the areas that you want your ads to show up in, whether that be by zip code, city, state, even a radius around your business. If you have a business or a service that has a higher level of differentiation, you might want to cast a wider net around your geographical area that you're showing your ads, because you know your customers may be willing to travel a little bit further for that product or service. If you don't, it might make sense to use a smaller radius. The third tip is the understanding that people use desktop and mobile differently when they're searching. So people use mobile to connect to local businesses, right? And local listings appear higher in mobile results, and they're more prevalent than they are in desktop. And as Christina mentioned earlier, most people are more than likely to click on that first link that they see when they conduct a search on mobile. So it's important to use that in your strategy to get both web and physical foot traffic to your locations. Fourth tip is, depending on the type of business, your business model, or your audience, sometimes people need immediate service and they want to talk to somebody right now. So in our plumbing example earlier, if somebody has a burst pipe and they want to talk to somebody right away, you can actually create call-only ads where people don't even have to visit your website. They will see your number, click on it, and it will directly call your place of business. A side tip here is that to make sure those are only running when you are operating business hours. Otherwise, that can be sort of a poor user experience.
Or for recipient experience, unless you like getting phone calls at 2 a.m.
The fifth tip is to make sure you're segmenting your campaigns by location and then writing very specific ad copy for that location so your results are as highly targeted as they can be for the audience that's searching for you. And then the final tip is to try and optimize for voice search. So using some of those long tail keywords or near me keyword targeting, and then trying to think about the questions people may have around your business, around answering the who, what, when, where, why, and how type of questions.
So I think really the bottom line is to understand that digital advertising can be extremely effective at the local level, but you need to understand that there is a difference between local digital advertising and other types. And the reason it can work is because you're probably already marketing your business using some sort of a shop local strategy. So it makes sense to use a local theme for your digital efforts. And especially to remember the online and mobile component, because we know you can think about your own experience, be a focus group of one. You pull out your phone hundreds of times a day to answer even the simplest questions. We do not like to think anymore. But we do know from Google's data that a lot of in-store transactions start online with a near me type query. So if you can pay attention to the tips that Ivana has shared with you today, you can set up really effective campaigns and not have an awful lot of waste in your advertising dollars, which is really what everybody wants. We want to make sure that you're getting the highest return on investment and the best targeting for your efforts. So that's it for today. We do these every Tuesday, so stay tuned for next Tuesday. We will be posting at noon another 10 to 15-minute tip, and they always all go up on Trivera.com on the resources page as well. So that's it. Ivana, thank you so much for sharing these tips with everybody today. I know I appreciated it. I'm sure everybody else did. So thanks a lot and goodbye.
Bye, thanks.